Hello, this is Charles McAllister with Kennelite. This is an introductory video to help you get started with Kennelite. Whether you're a pet groomer or work in a boarding kennel, this video will help you get through the first steps installing the software and adding pets into the system. Hope you like this video and hope you like Kennelite. Okay, we're going to start by downloading Kennelite, and to do that we just go to www.kennelite.com and we're going to click on the login. This video assumes that you've already done the registration process. So you're ready to log in. So you simply put in your username and your password and hit the login button. If you forgot those, you can click to recover. So we're logging in now. Okay, so then we would go to download. Before we do that, I just want to point out you can click on support. And here we have the documentation on the website. So this would include a lot of what we're going to talk about, the quick start guide, just getting started. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my download page. And we click download. So I'm just going to wait for that to download. Once that is downloaded, we select to open that, and we're going to run that. So this starts the installation of Kennelite. We're just going to go ahead and go through all the steps here, and we can just pretty much pick the default values here. We probably want to create a desktop icon that puts a big blue K on our desktop so we can start Kennelite. And so now we're installing it. We have to wait. Sometimes it might take a minute or two to complete this. Not too bad. Okay, so now we're ready to start Kennelite, so I hit finish here. Alright, so this is the first window that you get the first time you install Kennelite. You're going to want to put in your username and password that you used from the website. This window only comes up just once when you first install Kennelite, and it grants access to your data on this computer. So if you were to download Kennelite on another computer, you would have to put in your username and password from the Kennelite website. And again, if you forgot your username or password, you can always go to the website and you can recover your username or password. So I just hit OK here to start up Kennelite. And it might take a little bit for it to first start up. Okay, so there we are. We're in Kennelite now. All right. So when you first start using Kennelite, this is kind of optional, but we really recommend that you do it. Is to change the password that is used when you log in to Kennelite. For instance, it's showing here that we're logged in as the administrator. Okay. And because we haven't set up any kind of security and we haven't added any groomers or any staff to the system, it just logged us in automatically as an administrator. But if we don't change the password, that means that, if someone were to steal your laptop, for example, they could start up Kennelite and they'd be able to access your data. So changing the password is probably a good idea. So to do that, we go to log out, and we put in the username, which is admin, and the password is admin. All right, and then we just hit change here. And so in the change window, you can type in a new password. Okay, and so now we're logged in as the administrator. It's just that now when we start up Kennelite, we'll be presented with a login. So let's go ahead and do that. Before I shut down Kennelite, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say pin this program here. So I put a little shortcut on my taskbar here, and I'm going to close this down. Okay, so then I can click my blue K to start it up again. Okay, so there's my login. I type in admin, and then I put in my new password. And then I'm logged in. So this window is what we call the main window of Kennelite, and it contains all of the pet owner information for the current pet that we have open, and it shows all of their pets, and it shows notes that we might type up about the pet owner, and notes about the current pet that we have selected, and vaccinations, and appointments, that all of the times where they've come in for an appointment would be listed here. And then down below here in the history section, these are the transactions, any kind of service that we performed, whether it's grooming or bathing or boarding stay, nail trim, any sort of service that we charge the customer for would show up in this area here. And this area is for the current pet that we have selected. So in each of these sections, you can right-click to see different functions that you can perform for this area. So for instance, if we want to add a new pet owner, we can select this new option here. Likewise, if we right-click in this pet card area, we can see that there are functions to perform here too. So every section has the menu. Just want to point out though that when you right-click, you should right-click in the blank area. If you right-click on something like this, you get a different list of options, which is probably not what you want. These are options for how you want the information to be sorted or displayed. You wouldn't want to right-click here either. These are some advanced kind of features that we're not interested in. So you would want to right-click just kind of anywhere in here, or anywhere in here, or in this section. So let's start by adding a new pet owner. So we can do that by doing a right-click new. You can also use this button here, this new button. Okay, so what this pulls up is a window where we can type in the last name of the customer. For instance, if I type in Smith, type in an address, type in a phone number. Okay, and what it's going to do when we hit continue here, it's going to search to see if the person's already in the system. We wouldn't want to add another pet owner if they're already in the system. So we hit continue here, and since it didn't find a person in the system, then it pulls up the new account window. So here we could complete the rest of the information. Now this number here, this is an account number. This is a number you don't typically type in this box. It will automatically increment for us, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as we add new customers. And this number is useful because the number will print out on reports, or print out on like a receipt or an invoice. So if someone says, hey, can you pull up this pet owner, and because they're looking at a report, you can say, hey, well, what's the account number? And you can quickly search by the account number. Okay, so, and then we have emergency contact. That means that this person should be contacted in emergency for instance, for like an boarding stay. You might want to keep track because a pet owner there might be other contacts like their spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend or etc. So one of those will be marked as the emergency contact. Okay, as I hit my tab key on the keyboard, it should take me down here to the address. And I'm going to tab again, and notice that it jumps to the zip code. And that's because if we type in our zip code first, and then we tab to the next box, it will automatically fill in the city for us. But it will only do that when we initialize our list of zip codes. So I can show you how to do that here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and type in my city and type in my state, And now we tab down here, discount entry. That would be like a senior citizen discount or so on. We can set this up later. And of course, like email. Folder would be just another kind of number that you might want to assign to a customer. Okay, and now if we're ready to put in a phone number, we just hit save here. And we go ahead and use this button to add a new phone number. Here it's putting in the phone number that I had originally typed when we did our search. We can say whether it's a cell phone or home phone number, etc. You can mark a phone number as primary. That means that the primary phone number tends to print more than it tends to print on reports or documents, whereas other phone numbers may not. So primary is good to indicate which phone number is the most important phone number. You can put a note here, if you want to call after 5 p.m. or dial extension, whatever. That's what you can use the note for. If we made a mistake, you can always right-click and you go back to change the phone number. Okay, and if to remove a phone number, you just right-click and you can say delete to delete the phone number. Contacts are alternate contacts, like you may put in the name of a spouse or something. So I'm going to type in a name here. You can fill out address, city, state, zip, etc. And you can even type in phone numbers. So you could have as many phone numbers as you want for the pet owner and the contact. Okay, so once we're done filling out the pet owner information, we just hit OK. All right, I said that we should set up our zip codes. So let's do that right now. So we're going to go to Tools, and we go to System Entries. And in here, this window is used for a lot of the lists of data that we use in the system. For instance, we have zip codes, we have the list of breeds, the list of colors. So it tends to be a lot of selection lists that we use. So let's go to the zip code. To add a zip code, we just click the new button. We can type in a zip code. We can type in the city for that zip code and type in the state. And so we'll hit OK. So now anytime that we add a new customer and we're tabbing down to this zip code field, if we type in the zip code and we hit tab, it fills in the information for us. I'm just going to cancel here for now. Okay, so now we're ready to add a new pet. So we can do that by just clicking this button, or we can right click here and say new. So let's add a pet. We just type in their name. We can pick the breed. If you select this box, you can also type like some of the letters. Like I say, I want to pick a Cocker Spaniel. I can type C-O-C-K and to get the Cocker Spaniel. And I can pick the color. And like I said, the breeds and the colors, they're in that system entries window that we were just in when we put in the zip codes. Okay, and then we can pick a gender. So I pick male, and we can fill out all of this information. So we hit OK. So now we have Buffy here, and Buffy has a blue bone because Buffy's a dog and is a male, so we pick has a blue bone. Let's go ahead and add another pet. So we're going to click the new button and type in a new pet and pick a breed. Pick a color, pick the gender, etc. And now Barkley has a pink bone because Barkley's a female. So that's why it shows like that. Okay, so now let's look at, let's go back and look at some of the more information that we can put on a pet. We can do a right-click change, or we can just double-click anywhere in here. Double-click with your left mouse button, and we can get back in here. We can change things. So here we have the species. We can select dog or cat. We have the breed. You can say if the pet's a mixed breed or not. And we have a breed type. Now the breed type is that affects the pricing. So when you set up your pricing for your grooming services, for example, you may want to charge differently based on the breed type. So we're going to cover this a little later. With the color. It's kind of a neat little feature. If there's a color for the pet that's not in this list, okay, maybe we're looking for a certain color, it's not there. Let me show you how you can add the color. So I'm going to hit cancel. We're going to go to tools and then system entries, and we select color. This is the list of our colors. So we can add a color. Just going to pick purple. Not that there would ever be a dog purple, but I'm just going to add it. And then we'll come in here and we select the color should be in here. Okay, so that's a lot of steps though to add a color. It turns out you can add it from this window. If you see this little drop down, you can select this and you can add, whatever color we want to add, and then it adds it to that. It adds it both into the system entries so that it's available to select here, and then it just sets it to the pet. And so anywhere where you see these little drop down arrows lets you alter the list. Here we have the date of birth. We can do it as a day, month, and year. We have the gender. You can pick neutered male, spay female. Inactive, if over time the pet is no longer with the customer, you can pick the inactive status. Hospital and veterinarian, those are in your system entries too. You can select the hospital that the pet goes to and the veterinarian for that hospital. Folder is just a number that you can assign to a pet. If you have the pet on a paper card, and you want to have a number on that card, you can refer to the card from here. Weight, you can type in a weight for the pet. This is the date that the pet was added. And then we have medical alerts. And medical alerts may be things, different problems that the pet might have. You can select an alert. Now watch what happens when I pick the alert and I hit OK. This window pops up, and so anytime that I open up this pet, this window is going to pop up to alert that this pet has arthritis. So if I were to go, if I were to say go to Barkley, if there's an alert on Barkley, it would pop up. The alert doesn't pop up when I go back to Buffy because it's already shown the alert for Buffy. I guess I can show you this now. Would be a good time. If we're done working with a customer, we can right click and we can say close, and close will just make them go away from the main window here. If we want to reopen them, we can use this little drop down right here, and this gives us a list of the pets that we've been working with recently. So if I pick Buffy here, now we get the alert, and just hit OK. All right, now let's talk about some of the notes that we can type for the pet owners and the pets. Right here we see we have account notes. So to change a note, we just right click change. And we can type some notes about this customer. We can, we can make some things bold if we want to make things highlight. We can make things, we can make the text a little bigger if we want. Okay, so now the note just shows right there. Another way we can add a note for a customer is we can right click and we can go to alert. So from the alert window we can do a change and we can alert the staff about this particular customer. For instance, if there were a no-show for an appointment or so on, we can put an alert on there. So that way if I close the customer and I reopen them, we get the yellow alert for the pet owner, but then we have the pink alert for the pet. Okay, and so very similar, we have pet notes. We can add notes for the pet, or we can also do a right click and do an alert. So Buffy already has an alert for arthritis, but we can type additional text about Buffy. So that becomes part of Buffy's alert. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some time to add some more customers and add some more pets to the system. And so why don't you take some time to do that and practice adding those customers. And in the next video, we're going to practice searching for our pets and pet owners. So I will see you in the next video.